Hi, Scorpio. I know that it is December 3rd and you have yet to have your December reading. I'm fully aware. I know that some of you thought that I forgot about you, but I didn't. There were a couple of reasons why I haven't done your reading yet. I wanted to do it a couple of weeks ago, and then I realized that it wasn't time. And you all know that I do readings by energy. Mostly, there was a couple of times when I tried to do the readings by starting with the birthday reading and then going through the all the signs in the chart, after that, following that. But the best way that it works for me is when it's right, when it's time. And a couple weeks ago, you guys wouldn't have really understood where I was coming from, because we've had this thing going on with Venus and Mercury bouncing back and forth between you and Libra and you and Sagittarius. And right now we have Mercury in retrograde in your sign, which just happened a couple days ago. And we have Venus direct in your sign. And when we went through the Venus retrograde in your sign and it went back into Libra, there was this purging release that happened at the end of October when Venus went Venus went retrograde. And then it went back into Libra, and then it went direct into Libra, and we kind of got a release of that energy where we could kind of take a break and things lightened up a little bit, and it was a lot easier to be free and not feel such heavy feelings. Because when Venus is in Scorpio, she's very, very intense. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but when she's retrograde in Scorpio, it can bring back a lot of old hurts and pains and love, and recognizing where you're lying to yourself about what you've been holding on to and what you need to let go. And then we get into Libra, where she's at home because she is the ruling planet of Libra, and things kind of even out a little bit. And now that she's moved back into your sign, and we also have Neptune direct and Mars direct in Pisces, there's this waterlogged energy again. And yes, I know you guys are a water sign, but if you really think about it, the Scorpion doesn't live in water. You guys like dry desert. You guys you're pulled to the water, yes, because you guys are very emotional and very intense individuals. Also not a bad thing. But the suffocating feel, if you put a Scorpio in directly in water and make it stay there, it'll die. Because where do Scorpios live? In the desert. Dry, arid places. Yes, it needs water to survive as well, but it mainly lives on land. So when you are in the midst, sorry, I gotta readjust myself a little bit. When you're in the midst of this really heavy energy and you don't know what's happening to you, you won't understand when things start to get easier. You're like, oh, wow, that really lifted. That feels a lot better. Mercury went into Sagittarius. Well, then Mercury went retrograde, and now it's in your sign again. And so you're right in the middle of all of this water energy. And then we have the Cancer full moon happening at the end of December, on the 22nd of December, when we hit Capricorn season. And there will be this time where we can't lie to ourselves anymore. Venus in Scorpio, Neptune, Mars in Pisces, and the Cancer full moon. So this water trine illuminates everything. And if I would have said 2 weeks ago that you guys were going to be questioning everything, and that you guys were going to not know exactly what was happening moving forward through your last month of the year, you would have looked at me and been like, but I feel so good right now. I don't understand. I feel so good right now. So, I'm getting ready for the holidays. Everything feels very light and airy and fun and laughter and Sagittarius season, but it's stagnant water. It's not stagnant, it's fixed. Very, very fixed water. Welcome to your reading. Here you are. So you're learning with the King of Cups here. There's the whole point of this is the emotional maturity that we've all been striving for, but we keep doing this roller coaster because there are some things that we have to purge. When I say emotional maturity, I mean the total and full understanding of why certain relationships aren't working in your life, why certain things you keep trying to manifest and they're not coming into fruition. You're not, you can get very intense about it and you can get very upset about it. But if you really sit there and think about it, you're not being beat down by the universe. You're being refined. Right? So that's why your reading is on December 3rd and not in November. Like other people, because we moved into Sagittarius season, all the other signs really wanted to start pushing forward really, really fast. And you may be saying to me right now, but Betsy, I really do want to push forward. I do want to change things. I do want to fix things. And I fully know that you do. But when we keep getting back into still waters, and we all know still waters can run very, very deep unless it's flowing, unless it's a flowing river. And you guys aren't able to flow with that yet. Not until we get to January. And I'm not saying that things aren't going to look up. And I'm not saying that the energy is going to be heavy all the way through December. Because we have a very lucky new moon coming up in a couple of days in Sagittarius. And there's going to be a stellium of planets in Sagittarius that day. And that will feel so much more uplifting. But the days following that, the week following that, you could get back into a spot where you're just like, heavy again? Why do I have to go through this heavy? Why do I keep having to do this? Sorry, Mercury is still in retrograde and my speech gets very altered when Mercury is in retrograde. And I want to talk really fast for you guys and I'm being forced to slow down. So just bear with me right now. Earth signs are having a very difficult time with this water energy. Trust me when I tell you that. So you've been through the fight, right? 9 of Wands. But I don't want you to sit here battered and bruised and thinking that it's not going to get better, because look at all of the wands behind this guy that he defeated already. Sure, he's holding on to one that's holding him up and he's tired and exhausted. But it's a refinement that you wouldn't have understood a couple of weeks ago. It's because you went through that heavy business and you went through all that purging and you went through all of that releasing of energy and you thought, oh, no, I'm done, right? I can start looking forward into the future. 2 of Wands, looking forward into the future. I fought the good fight. Why the hell is it all coming back up again? 5 of Wands. Why is it all coming back up inside of me again? Refinement. There's a lot of fire energy here. And with all this fire energy, you're feeling waterlogged, right? You're drowning in the sea of hopes and dreams, feeling like they've just been shattered. And even if it's not that dramatic, by the full moon, you're going to be able to look back. By the full moon in Cancer, oh, look at that, there's the full moon. By the full moon in Cancer, you're going to be able to look back and say to yourself, I don't need that anymore. The 4 of Cups. In fact, anything that's really offered to me that doesn't look real, I'm not even going to pay attention to anymore, because I am focused on forward thinking and I am focused on where I want to go in my life. And then we have the King of Pentacles and the Moon. So you have a very strong earth sign around you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They may not be paying a lot of attention to you, and I think that's kind of driving you crazy right now. If it's not an earth sign, it's just somebody that you see in a very big light. You see somebody who is very stable. You see somebody who is very grounded. You see somebody that you could have a stable, grounded future with. But I think by the full moon, you're going to realize that maybe that's, you were looking at this person in a way that, I feel like it was a facade, or you were seeing the way it was on the outside, because earth signs right now on the inside, they're kind of crumbling because water and earth make mud. So they're like trudging through this really mud. They're begging for Capricorn season to hurry up and get here, basically, because they want to feel that ground again, because they have all this fire of Sagittarius and all this water of Pisces and Scorpio and Cancer coming in, and it's like screaming, right? So if you are dealing with an earth sign who is not paying attention to you at the moment, I feel like it's kind of time for you to look in another direction, and maybe not forever, but for a while. So let's clarify some of these. You know, it's really interesting. Actually, in the Leo reading, I did a lot of clarifications and didn't really look at the bottom of the deck much. And I'm kind of feeling like I want to do that here for you guys too. So I'm going to clarify these, and then we'll go back through and clarify more to see if we can get more of, and just because I'm really nosy about certain things. I'm so nosy. Like, let's look at all this. Okay. And this is exactly what I'm saying, guys. You need clarity. And I believe that once the sun moves into Capricorn, there's going to be a lot more clarity that you can receive. We're still going to be really full of all this water stuff because we have the North Node in Cancer as well. There's a lot of water stuff happening until the end of December when Mars moves into Aries. It's like water, water, water. So, and we have Venus actually moving into Capricorn, I'm sorry, Venus moving into Sagittarius in January. So we're going to be kind of inundated with all of this water energy for the rest of the year. But water is cleansing, except for it's not really cleansing to a Scorpio. It's kind of the death of a scorpion, right? You can survive in it if you can find a way out. So what's the way out? Clarity. The sun drying up all that water in your life. You recognizing that you fought the good fight. And this could be either with a Leo or with a Libra. Whatever fight you had to fight during this time, or whatever fight that you're fighting, or you recognizing that it's bringing balance into your life. It's bringing some kind of karmic justice into your world. And part of how you get out of being waterlogged is looking for that dry land with the Two of Wands. Looking into where's your next step going to go. Because Sagittarius season begs of us to get moving, but we haven't had the energy to do it because Mercury is retrograde, because there's a lot of water energy going on, because we're exhausted from everything that's been going on. And Sagittarius is like, nope, I pointed the arrow. We're going to go. We're headed that direction. So the Page of Swords. So this could be that Libra that you are thinking of moving on from. Or this is all about you recognizing that maybe that Libra didn't have as much status as you thought in your life. Because are they dry land, or are they drowning you in their emotions as well as your emotions? The Page of Swords also asks us to trim the fat. Have those conversations. Finish off that lesson. Because you have so much. If you look in the Two of Wands in this deck, he's holding a globe, which most Rider-Waite decks are. They're holding globes. He has the whole world literally in his hands and can do anything and can go anywhere. So this is your choice right now, Scorpio, are you going to fight for something that you keep looking past? It's like you're fighting for it, but you keep looking beyond it as well. And if this is a friend situation or a work situation, I feel like you recognize that there's so much more for you to go get. There's so much more out there for you to receive. It's becoming more clear the closer we get to Capricorn season and the closer we get to the end of the year. It's becoming more clear to you how you have been standing still, fighting the good fight, yes. But you're still standing there a little battered and bruised after this year. So it's really your choice. You know, I can only tell you the energy that you're working with. I can't make the choices for you. I wish I could just be like, no, this is what you need to do, right? Even in personal readings, I say, this is the energy you're working with, and these are your options. This is what the universe is giving to you. It's up to you to make the option that you're at peace with. And that's how I tell everybody to, the choices that they make in their life, I want them to be at peace with it. This actually might be one of the longer readings that I do. And I wanted to wait until my energy was good enough for you. I didn't want to give you something that was less than at all. And I say that often to people with the signs and the way that I read. But until you really understand the energy, you're not going to get it. So now you guys can understand this energy. So how interesting is it that the air sign, probably a Libra, shows up as a King of Swords on the Five of Wands? So, but when you're looking, it's like when you're making them realize that you're looking into your future and you're almost looking past them, they become very diminished and almost apologetic. And when you show back up in their life because you say, but I fought for you so much and I keep fighting for this and I keep fighting for this, but all you're doing is fighting back. Like you're not even showing me what I need from you. That's when they show up in their authority and almost in a way where they're overpowering you. Notice we have 3 kings here. I feel like there is a power struggle that's going on. And whether it's at work or whether it's in your personal relationships, I don't think you're going to have any more of it. With the 4 of Cups, I feel like this fight for approval, acceptance, just being acknowledged has exhausted you to no point, to no end. And you're kind of done. And you're like, I don't want to be drowned in any emotions anymore. So that's why there's all this fire here, because that's why there's the sun here. It's drying up all the water in your life. And this 4 of Cups becomes the King of Wands. We have all of the kings here. What a power struggle this is, Scorpio. I don't know who you're dealing with, but there's a fire sign here that you cannot deal with anymore. You just simply can't. I mean, you're just like, I'm not dealing with your over excessive emotions anymore. You make me feel like I'm drowning. You've got an air sign here who is very diminished when you say, I'm moving on. And then when you show back up again, they just argue with you. And then try and force themselves in this power play position. You're gaining a lot of clarity. Let's see what the King of Pentacles is here for. A lot of power struggle. Kings are not easily swayed. And you've got all 4 of them. Got all 4 of them. And they're very fixed. Kings represent the fixed sign. So if we want to go that way, we have Aquarius, we have Leo, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus. And then we have the, this could be a Gemini also that you have a power struggle with. But the Gemini hasn't shown up in here. But these airs, I mean, like these signs really could be, or these kings could really be anybody in your life. I just feel like you're having a lot of power struggles with a lot of people because they want to drown you in all of their emotions and everything that's going on. And you're just trying to find dry land. And you're like, I can't do this anymore. I've been fighting the good fight. So we have the Empress on the King of Pentacles. And the Empress does represent Taurus and it does represent Libra. I almost want to say that the King of Pentacles might be your saving grace when it comes to all of this, because the King of Pentacles is with the Empress on here. It's almost like, no, I see your potential. And that may be because Capricorn season is coming. And towards Capricorn season, you're going to feel a lot stronger about the decisions that you're making and who you need to cut out of your life and who is worthy. Remember the word worthy enough to stay, because we allow the energies that we have in our life. People, yes, they can project onto you, but only you allow how that affects you. They can project being mean. They can project this forcefulness. You name it, they'll project it. But only you are you're the decision maker here. You can choose to be waterlogged, which I think is what this video is going to be called. Or you can choose to find dry land and survive. Cancer full moon, what did I say? Cancer full moon. So we have the Chariot on the moon. And this full moon is going to really be illuminating. It will be very, very illuminating for everyone. But in particular for you guys, because you'll have found the dry land by then, and it'll be easier to see in the dark. This full moon is going to light up a lot of things for a lot of people. And I think especially for you, it's actually going to show you the path that you need to follow, the path that you truly need to go on and want to go on. Because you know, with the Chariot, it's like all we have to do is get in and take the wheel and let the universe drive us. We're not really in control. We like to think we are, but we're not really in control. Especially when it comes to the Chariot. We're not in control. You can take your detours all you want. You can make decisions to make your life harder all you want. That's up to you. You don't even realize sometimes that you're making your life harder by making one decision versus another. But when it comes right down to it, this Chariot, you have your hands on the wheel, but the universe is really driving it. And the pace, how fast it's going to go, the direction it's going to go is really up to the universe. And we have free will. Again, you can take detours, but you're always going to end up back on the same track. So I'm clarifying the sun. I want to see what's going to be illuminated. See what happens? When the sun comes out, all of the happiness is there too. When the sun dries up all of this excess water that you don't need, you just need a little bit of it, and that's where your 10 of Cups is. Your path to happiness relies solely on the choices you're going to make at the end of this year. And whether you're going to take another detour or realize that you've been fighting for a cause that may not necessarily be of your best interest. It was very valiant of you to fight, and it probably taught you a lot of lessons about yourself and how to love and who to cherish and who belongs in your life. And I mean, it made you grow. And you should be very, very thankful for that. And behind this 9 of Wands, that 10 of Cups is going to show up really, really proudly. So let's see what this Justice card is, because I feel like it's kind of karmic for you. It's karmic retribution. It's balancing out the scales. It's giving you an opportunity, to start over again. Page of Pentacles, start over again. And maybe, yes, you're going to feel like you're starting over from the beginning, but you're truly not. You just feel like it. But that beginning is going to be much more stable. And maybe it's just starting off a new friendship. Maybe it's starting off changing the relationship in a way. Or allowing yourself to look into your future without necessarily holding you back anymore. Without somebody or something holding you back anymore. Because you know you fought the good fight. So I want to see what the 2 of Wands and the Page of Swords are together. Ah, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's scary. I think you guys are scared to move away from this air sign some days. Whether it's a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. And it not only diminishes them for you to kind of walk away, but it diminishes you too in a very innocent, like almost makes you feel like there's unfinished business. And maybe there is unfinished business, but you so badly want to move forward without looking back. And if there are apologies that are needed, or if there's a conversation that needs to be had in order for you to move forward, I think there's almost a childlike fear when it comes to it that you might lose it forever. The saying of letting something go and having the faith that it'll return if it's meant to be is very real. And a very good friend of mine who happens to be a Cancer said to me this morning that we have to have the faith to move forward. And even if we don't know the direction that we're going, even if we don't know what lies in front of us, we know that it's better than what we're leaving behind. And the more we hold on to something that makes us feel like a page and not like a king or a queen or an empress or an emperor, the more we hold on to something like that, the harder it is for us to make decisions for ourselves. Because sometimes we think that we're doing a good thing by holding on to the thing that is drowning us, because we think that we're helping others in some way. And I want you guys to start to recognize where you're holding yourself back for another person, or where you're allowing yourself to stay stuck because of a situation. Let's see what this King of Swords, like I said, this reading is going to be probably a lot longer than all of them. King of Swords with the 5 of Wands. King of Swords and 5 of Wands. Okay. So there is an air sign, whether it's a Libra, or Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius in your life. This person's been holding on for a while, and all they do is cause you stress and panic and heartache. And with the Ace of Swords, it's time to like cut them out. And I don't want you to get your stinger out because you want to. Like, this is that person that you want to just like venom all over the place. Just get it over with already. I don't want you to do that. I want you to look at this situation in a way that they don't know any better. They're not as enlightened as you. That doesn't make you better than them. It just means that you're more open. You're more accepting. You know? So, and when you can be more accepting of other people without judgment, that's when you know that you've leveled up. And like I said, it doesn't mean that you're any better than anybody else just because you've leveled up, or just because you have been going on this journey longer than somebody else, or just because they're unawakened and you are. That doesn't mean that you're better than them. It just means that you see things in a different way. And you can rise above the situation, and you can cut the situation out and not have to allow the energy of somebody else to drown you. Because there is this allowance here that you've been allowing people to come in and drown you and drown you and drown you and drown you and drown you. All you're trying to do is get to dry land. Like, I've had enough of the drinking. Waterlogged. I can't do it anymore. So we have the Page of Wands on the King of Wands with the Four of Cups. Whatever messages come in from a fire sign, whoever's trying to talk to you and it's a fire sign person, that is going, like, I don't think that you're going to accept any kind of messages from a fire sign whatsoever. I think that you've kind of removed yourself from the situation, and you're no longer allowing this person to bring up emotions in you that you left by the wayside a long time ago. You know? But the thing is they're trying to. There's, you know, people, we have kings and we have pages. And people are trying to, I don't even know why somebody would mess with a Scorpio like this. Like, seriously, don't you know that they're like one of the most poisonous creatures on this planet? Like, why would you mess with a scorpion? Why would anybody do this? I don't even get it. You know? So it really is going to be up to you. Do you get the stinger out and do you sting some people? Or do you just simply find some dry land and get away from the emotional disaster of what everybody wants to pull you into? Let's see what the Empress and the King of Pentacles. I feel like this King of Pentacles is going to help you get to dry land. I feel like there's an earth sign around you, yes, that is leading you into victory. They are... And this could be Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Once we get into Capricorn season, which is, this is also saying this, things will feel so much, it won't be as heavy. I mean, I think after the first of the year, everything is going to feel a little bit lighter after we get the eclipses out of the way, and because we have eclipses coming in January. And that's why I'm kind of preparing you guys to get through all of these like emotional outbursts that people keep on throwing at you. But with the Six of Wands on the Empress and the King of Pentacles, there is victory. Capricorn season is going to feel much lighter. You are rising above the situation, and I feel like there's a person here that's kind of helping you along in that. And the Cancer full moon will illuminate your path. And I also feel like by the time, and the Cancer full moon is on December 22nd, by the time we get there, see what I mean? You could be really feeling kind of at home at this point, and very steady and stable and not so watered down. I think that the energy is going to get a little bit lighter once Mercury moves back into Sagittarius on the 12th of December, and it'll be direct at that point. When Mercury goes retrograde, it affects a lot of people. It doesn't just affect the people that it rules, Virgo and Gemini. It affects a lot of people. And I think that you guys were very, very affected with it because it was in Sagittarius season, and it was in your season for so long. So, by the time the Cancer full moon shows up on the 22nd, things are going to be a lot clearer. You're going to feel a lot more stable, happy, feeling at home, ready for the holidays, you know, ready for the new year, ready to start something fresh, start something new. There will be celebrations, maybe even a marriage. We have 2 marriage cards here. The 6 of Wands and the 4 of Wands are both marriage cards. 10 of Cups is all about a happy home and a happy family. I think that this is something that you're really, really looking forward to and wanting in your life. But when you've been crushed by all this water for so long and you're just trying to find dry land before it gets the best of you, you can't drown a scorpion easily, but it is possible if there's too much of it, right? I mean, let's get real. You guys like the dry air. You know, you just do. You like the desert. So it's been heavy. And you have a lot of people that are trying to make it even heavier on you. I want you to recognize they're not doing well either, but that's not your problem. Who did I say that to? I said that's a Libra. Not your problem. Like, in fact, if you need to go watch the Libra reading because they showed up here in your reading, it's called Not Your Circus, Not Your Monkeys. Because it's not. Right? Things can be very, very confusing right now. 7 of Cups. But only one of these things is for you. One of these options, these many, many options during this waterlogged time, is the right one. It's up to you with that Ace of Cups. Only one of these 7 cups is yours. It's up to you to shift the energy. We have the World card and the Wheel of Fortune. See how beautiful that energy is. And how do you shift it? You unblindfold yourself and make decisions. I'm so glad I did the bottom of the deck. 2 of Swords and the Magician. And even if you look at me and you're like, Betsy, I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. How am I supposed to make any decisions? It's okay. Let the universe guide you. If you're blindfolded right now, get on that chariot. Trust, faith, hope. The 2 of Swords takes a lot of faith to take that blindfold off and put those swords down. She doesn't need to have those swords up. She can cut the hell out of somebody with that. Look into your future. Leave behind all of the disappointment, all of the regrets. 3 of Wands, 5 of Swords. Leave it all behind. And be strong enough to know that love is on the way. Could be with a Leo, could be with a Gemini. You can shift the energy, but you have to make the active decision to do it. And if you do it in December, I say that it's going to feel right to make decisions to leave people behind, to cut those final cords of the ones that have been drowning you all year long. Cut those final cords after the Cancer full moon. Because I think by then, you know, after Jupiter moved out of your sign, it's like you're ready. It's in Sagittarius, and especially for Scorpio rising signs. Sagittarius is your 2nd house of finances, of money, finances and money are the same thing. Oh my gosh. But you want to be, and Jupiter is lucky in Sagittarius. It's lucky anyways, but it's really lucky in Sagittarius. And you don't want to be stuck with all of these power struggles when you're trying to do everything that you can to find dry land, to just breathe. Release, 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 release. You don't need it. You have beautiful things coming up in your future. Don't deceive yourself that you have to be stuck. Don't deceive yourself. That's a deception. It's an illusion. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for your patience with your reading. I am doing Chatelize sessions on Fridays, 2 hours, all through December. That link is below. You can see all of the sessions that are available. Please come hang out with me and take a selfie on Chatelize with me. So do that, and I will have your 2019 readings out before the first of the year, the general readings, and I am going to work on the soulmate readings as well. I wasn't going to, but now I will. And I love you guys so, so much. Have a wonderful rest of your December, and I'll see you soon. Bye.